So the Portland Trailblazers have signed Nassir Little to a 4-year, $28 million contract extension, which rounds out to about $7 million a year. And in my opinion, this was a very, very good contract for the Portland Trailblazers for what Nassir could potentially provide. But before I get into why I feel like this contract is so good, make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and without further ado, let me jump right into it. So Nassir Little last season had his own mini version of a breakout season, as in 25 minutes per game before his shoulder injury, he averaged around 9.8 points, 5.6 rebounds on 46% from the field, and 33 from downtown in 25 minutes a game. Now, Nassir was someone who was kind of on the fringes of the Blazers because since he was drafted, he hasn't been given much opportunity, and at the same time, he hadn't really shown much. But last season was where he really showed that he has an offensive game, he can get to the rim, and as a defender, he can legit guard 2 through 4. And I feel like Nassir has potential to be a primary type defender. I look at someone like Grant Williams in the past season. I'm not comparing them as players, but I'm talking about their role in the playoffs, guarding the opposition's best forwards, being a pest on the defensive end, and I really feel like Nassir could kind of embrace that kind of role and be of value to the Portland Trailblazers to the point where he's going to be a key contributor come postseason time playing big minutes. Now, first of all, this contract is very low risk, high reward because $7 million a year is just, it's not much for a role player like Nassir, but I feel like the steps he showed last season really shows that he can really push on and become more than that. If I was to give one area of improvement to Nassir Little for him to be able to become a solidified, solid rotation player, is to get a more consistent 3-ball, because if you can get that 3-point percentage to up around 38%, I don't see why Chauncey Billups isn't inserting him in the starting lineup / making him a very, very key rotational piece, because I genuinely feel like Nassir is just a handful. He's one of them guys on the defensive end that can be really pesty and can be used as a very good cutter, and if his outside shot becomes more consistent, I don't see why he can't be a legit stretch 4. But overall, I thought that this contract was very good for someone who provides what Nassir provides. He's also a very good rebounder. I see him really putting in some hustle on the defensive glass. But yeah, I mean, for a team that lacks a lot of defense and trying to add it in this offseason, I'd be interested to see how Nassir could potentially grow in that area of the floor and become a more consistent defender. That's the word I was looking for. May I also add, this contract is fully guaranteed. Now, I know some Blazers fans might overreact from what you saw in the preseason, because if I'm being honest, he was quite lackluster in the preseason, but as was everyone else in the roster. I wasn't particularly impressed with any single Blazer on the roster except for maybe Shaedon Sharpe, who really did show flashes in the glimpses he was allowed to show. However, the whole team just looked poor. In preseason, it just looked like they weren't playing as a cohesive unit, and there were just some really ugly possessions on the offensive side of the ball, and defensive rotations were missed. So if you're going to blame Nassir for that or kind of hold him into a low standing because of that, I don't really feel like that's fair, because the entire team looked poor. Is that going to be a reflection of next season? Who knows? But I feel like Nassir's definitely earned this contract, and I'm sure he'll be able to pick up the pace and give you more of what you saw last season. So Blazers fans, let me know what you feel about this contract. Do you feel like Nassir was overpaid, underpaid, or do you feel like he had to prove himself a bit more and you'd have liked to see him hit restricted free agency before he got a new contract? But yeah, thank you guys for listening to the video. Give me your opinions in the comment section down below, and I'm out. Peace.